Hi friends, you are joining the 7th video in an e-commerce web application development series. In this video, we are going to talk about how I created the cursor for my eShop web application. So let's get started with the video. So now let's see how I have added this cursor and how I have coded it. This is my home page. You can see how it looks. I talked about how I created this layout in a previous video. Now in this video we are going to talk about the cursor that you can see here. As you can see, I have used images for this cursor and I have made it so that the images change automatically. You can also check the buttons to view the different images manually. So this is how I have designed my cursor and this is how it's displayed. Now let's look at how I build and code it this way. Now I am going to my Visual Studio Code. So this is my VS Code workspace. You can see it like this. Let's open my home.php file. Here it is. When you scroll down, you can see the coding part related to the cursor. I should also mention that I created this design using Bootstrap's carousel component and then I customized it according to my needs. What you are seeing here is the coding part related to the cursor I built. I am going to explain this part now. But before that, I'll show you how I added the cursor. So I got it from the Bootstrap documentation under the cursor section. This is the Bootstrap documentation and this is the cursor section. Specifically, the one called cursor with caption. That's what I used to create my cursor in this way. You can see here that I used that code as a base and added it to my project. If we explain the code, you can see that Bootstrap is including here. And I have linked the cursor properly to make the cursor images slide automatically and display nicely. You must include Bootstrap's CSS file and Bootstrap's JavaScript file. In my project, I have added both of those files at the end of my page. You can see how I linked them. If we don't link these two files, the cursor won't work the way I showed you earlier. After linking the files, I customized the cursor code to match my design what I need. Here you can see the two buttons. These are the previous button and this is the next button I have added. Also, if we want to add more images, we can simply add more slides and buttons. For the first image, I used an image tag. This is the image tag, you can see it like this. I used an image tag to insert the picture and then I added the text using the caption section. This is the caption section. I used the paragraph tag to include the text. The words is the world's best online shop by one click. This is the paragraph tag. You can see it like this, and this is the small paragraph I added. In total, I added 3 images like this. This is the one image, and this is another image, and this is the third image. The second image doesn't have any text. It's just an image. You can see here the coding part for the two buttons. One for the previous and one for the next. So that's how I created this cursor in a simple way. Most importantly, make sure to include the bootstrap bundle.js file, otherwise the cursor won't function properly. That's how I added and set up my cursor.